Hey everybody, welcome back to WineupTV. What a treat it is. Ewald Moseler, he's been living here in Portland since the 80s?
Yeah.
Basically?
19...
Yeah, around then. But great guy, and he has an importing company called Moseler Selections. And so when we come back, Ewald's we're gonna do a nice series on German Rieslings and Austrian wines. But when we come back, he's gonna tell about these three. Hey everybody, welcome back. Ewald, it's so good to see you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, now we're at a bigger wine shop. We're down here
beautiful
in the cellar. Thank you very much. And the neighborhood's really taken to us. We've been very welcomed by the neighborhood. All right, so today I'll be the moderator. You can do all the talking. You come in here and you have several different wines that you import from Germany. Some are very hard to get, low production stuff. But today we're going to talk about a Müller-Thurgau and a couple of Rieslings. And let's talk about this first one.
I come from the Mosel Valley, and most of the time I bring you Mosel wine. Yeah. But today I thought I'd bring you something a little bit different.
Yeah.
First of all, I brought you dry wines. All three wines we're going to taste today are dry.
Okay.
And also, all these estates have a kind of an amazing history. So the first wine you see, this is kind of a little funny looking bottle. They call it a Boxbeutel. And this wine, this kind of bottle shape you find only in the Franken region. So that is where this wine comes from, Franconia. That is the area around Würzburg.
Okay.
And so this bottle have a long tradition. The bottle was first mentioned in 1576, wow. And that is also the year when this estate was created.
That's pretty cool. Getting back to some of the history of my youth, I worked at a grocery store back in the 70s, and back in the day it was Matus.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was in here.
Very similar.
And these bottles are very difficult to ship, but it's a history of wine. And back in the 70s, you had the Black Tower, Blue Nun, Matus, Lancers from Portugal in a clay pot. Yes. And as wine has progressed and advanced, now they're still using this bottle that was from the 1572. But now it's a Müller-Thurgau. Tell us a little bit about Müller-Thurgau and its origin.
Exactly. Yeah. Müller-Thurgau is the most popular variety, most planted variety in the Franken region. There's another variety, Silvaner. That are the two popular varieties. Both of these varieties are growing a little bit faster because the Franken region is a little bit more east, more intercontinental climate, so they need varieties to ripen a little bit faster than Riesling. So Müller-Thurgau is a variety similar to Riesling, but it is a hybrid. It was created around 1860 by a gentleman with the name Müller, and he came from Thurgau in Switzerland. And he did a lot of crossings, and it is a crossing of Riesling and Chasseler.
And what's really interesting is, growing up here in Portland, back in the 70s and 80s when the Willamette Valley was first started to be planted, there was a lot more Riesling and a lot more Müller-Thurgau and those kind of varietals. German cooler weather varietals is kind of cool here in the summertime. Yeah. So it's very interesting to see that grape made it here to the Willamette Valley. But go on.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this wine is, if you have had Müller-Thurgau before, most of the Müller-Thurgau you may taste it was a little bit on the sweeter side.
Yeah.
This wine is bone dry. So.
But the aromatics on this.
Yeah.
It's a beautifully structured wine, and look at the golden color. You almost would think it was fermented on the skins for a little while.
Yeah,
a little bit
maybe. Yeah.
Because
I think the color is also because of the year. This one is a 2010, but was an extreme ripe year in Germany.
Lip smacking, bone dry acidity. Mm-hmm. It's got a little bit of lemon, a little bit of grapefruit. It's got really nice flavors to it. Not overpowering either way. This is a nice sunny day sipper right here. Chill it down and go at it. Very nice. What's the retail roughly on this bottle?
This one is, unfortunately, the Franken wines are not so inexpensive. This one is around $30.
About $30? Mm-hmm. You cannot find this at 7-Eleven, everybody.
No, not at all.
Not back in the old days. All right. All right, let's get on talking about some of the Rieslings now.
Yeah, the next two Rieslings, what I brought, coming from the Rheingau. The Rheingau is definitely one of the most famous wine regions in Germany for Riesling. And again, like the first estate, these two estates have also a long history. The first wine what we're going to taste is a dry Riesling Cabinet. You know, Germany have this classification of Cabinet, Spätlese, Auslese, what means lighter body, medium body, full body. And each level can be dry. So this one is, in general, a lighter wine, fermented dry. And it comes from the Rheingau. The estate called Domdechant Werner. Domdechant is a person who prepares the dome before the bishop comes in and does a celebration. And his father purchased the estate in 1780, and the estate is still standing in the same family.
You know, I'm glad he can pronounce all these words, because if I tried to do one of these shows by myself, then I'd be having a hate mail. Man, you don't even try to speak German.
That is why you have me, you know?
Yeah, I know, exactly. And the cool thing is we're going to sit down and we're going to have a whole series of eventually, hopefully, most of the wines that you do, including a couple of reds that are very, very interesting, and we'll get into those later. But you know, being from Germany, you go home not very often, but you went last year.
2010.
2010?
Yeah.
It was a while ago, wasn't it? How my time goes fast. But it must be cool going home and seeing all that stuff. And, you know, here we live in the Willamette Valley. Nothing's old. And here Ewald's talking about castles from the 13, 14, 1500s. It's just fascinating history. And I asked him, I said, who built those things? Where did they make all their wealth back then? You know, it's just, I don't know. I got to kind of I'll Google it. So anyway, all right.
I hope I can bring you over there one time.
I would love to go. We'll go during Oktoberfest.
Okay.
Because I want to drink with Helga, the girl about this tall, about this wide, with 8 beers in each hand.
Exactly.
I've seen those pictures. All right. So, you know, again, Rieslings, they're very deceiving. They smell so wonderful, and until you taste them, you won't know if they're bone dry or medium dry or sweet.
Exactly. When you smell this wine, I mean, you get this rich fruit.
Beautiful aromatics.
Also, this wine is from 2010. Again, a little bit riper vintage than normally in Germany. Very small production, high ripeness level. So you get quite a bit of body in this wine, more than normally in a cabinet. But also the acidity in 2010 was extremely high. So the wine is fermented dry. You get that fresh fruit aroma, and then this bone dry finish, you know, so it's really a great wine.
Well, what's nice about these wines, since they do have such high acidity, you can lay them down for you know, good 5, 10, 15 years, and
easily,
and they're just going to get more complex as time goes on. And guys out there, you know, lay some wines down. You know, be patient, stick them away, put them in your closet, put them in your cellar, and just forget about them for 5 or 10 years. Then revisit them. I think it'd be in for a real nice treat. Okay, let's move on. And retail roughly?
This one is also a little bit below 30, so 28.
Okay. All right. Now let's talk about this last one.
Yeah, and the last one, that is also a estate with a lot of history. That is one of the oldest, basically the oldest estate in Germany. It dates back to 1349. So the vineyards are in the same family since 1349. Schloss Schönborn is the name of the estate, and it is really an aristocratic estate. This one is der regular Riesling, so it only said Schloss Schönborn Riesling, not Cabinet, not Spätlese, not Auslese. So it's their basic Riesling. And this wine is off dry. You will find a name on the label that said Feinherb. Feinherb means fine dryness, and it means off dry.
You know, that says fine herb, and I thought maybe they're talking about the marijuana movement that's going on. So maybe that's a difference. Fine herb, Feinherb. But I'm American, dude.
Yeah.
That's herb. I'm just kidding, people.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. So, you know, it's interesting, especially when you get to the classic German Rieslings and some of the labels that have gone back for hundreds of years, and we'll have some of those on upcoming shows. But what I like about this Riesling, it's not bone dry.
No,
it's off dry. And when I say off dry, it's maybe 0.75% residual sugar. There's not much in there, but it's not that dry like these two wines right here. And it's got a real pleasing nose on it. Great length, great flavor profile. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. Also 2010, so it have a pronounced acidity, but you notice It is a little bit softer, more gentle than the other one. And the
just delicious, absolutely delicious. And they're lower in alcohol. That's what I like about German wines. They're 10.5%, 10%. This is 11%.
This one has 13.
Yeah, this is 13.
Yeah, untypical for a cabinet.
Sure.
Because of the year, it was a ripe year, so it is a little bit richer. Basically, in this particular wine, the second one, you get a little bit more wine for the money. I mean, in a normal year, this one would be at least a dry Spätlese or even a dry Auslese. But, you know, everything was a little bit riper in 2010.
So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And also, Ewald lives in a really cool spot, Sovi's Island. And it's really cool unless it's Halloween and everybody's coming for pumpkins, and you're screwed, dude. Because I got caught up in all that traffic. There's only one way in, one way out of Sovi's Island. But if anybody ever comes to Portland, you want to kind of take a drive off the beaten path, go to Sovi's Island. It's really, really cool out there. They got a great nude beach, too.
All right.
Ewald, God dang it. Awesome. Good to see you. Hey, guys, when we come back, we'll be featuring somebody else, as you know. Have a great week.